Hey, it's Aaron, the Metal Theologian. So it's been a little while, but I've actually been kind of busy because I was on two different streams. So if you're dying for more Metal Theologian content, go check out Heavy Metallurgy and Man Cave of Doom. So it's funny, I get in this groove where feels like I've made a whole lot of videos and I actually haven't. And I'm I kind of neglected my channel a little bit, but I mean whatever. It's not like I monetize it or anything. So yeah, the big news is I kind of have COVID. Well, kind of. I have COVID right now, so I'm kind of exhausted. This is probably going to be kind of a short video, but this is the best I've felt in a day and a half, so I just kind of feel like it, so what the hell. And the other thing is that one of the side effects that's driving me fucking nuts. It's funny, it's not the worst. Feeling like I got hit by a truck is probably the worst, and because the fevers you can control. The fevers would be the worst otherwise, right? But I have this fucking bad taste in my mouth, man. So I'm hoping that this will help a little bit. I've sort of been saving this to talk about. Spencer found these when we first got here. And now it's kind of ridiculous to review this in a video because my taste buds are so fucked up. There's not going to be any relationship between what this tastes like to me today and what it tastes like to me when my mouth feels normal again. But on that note, cheers, because it's going to be fucking delicious to me because it's better than this shit. It's really good, actually. It says that it's, so I didn't know what to expect. It said Marshmallows Limited Edition. I guess that's a guy I haven't heard of. But it's watermelon and strawberry flavored Coke. And it's you sort of get the watermelon, then you get a splash of strawberry. It's kind of the dominant, and then the Coke sort of comes in at the end. It's actually really pleasant. And I don't think I'm just making this up either. Yeah, 'cause there's a little mouth weirdness going on anyway. But I'm not taking shit and changing it into watermelon taste in my head. It's more it doesn't taste right. It just tastes weird. It's kind of doing that, right? But through the kind of doing that, I can still taste. It's first you get the little dose of the watermelon, then you get hit with the strawberry, and then the Coke kind of comes and sneaks in at the end. It's a really pleasant drink, actually. I'm surprised at how much I like it. So I'm still on my reggae kick, right? But it's kind of maybe part of it's doing 2 metal streams in the last week. But I've kind of been listening to a lot of metal too, and specifically I've been listening to what's come to be called Jürgencore around the house, because I don't know, Spencer just started calling the shit Jürgencore when it arrived from Jürgen. But the more I sort of thought about it, the more I was that actually makes sense. First of all these records, they smell like the inside of Jürgen's lungs. Definitely came from the smoker's house. I'm sort of leaving them out to let them air out a little bit. And they're never going to air out all the way, but that's fine because that kind of makes them a little bit special, you know what I mean? These are from Jürgen's collection, you know? This, he was kind of self-conscious, it's fucked up and shit. He was yeah, that's just packing material. But I'm dude, first of all, I'm so into this record. I've been enjoying. Actually, you know which one I've really been enjoying a lot, which more than I thought I would, is this fucking record. Jürgencore. Yeah, it's funny because I didn't realize how stupid the cover was until I actually had the physical thing in my hands. Because I sort of seen it, I was oh yeah, there's a robot on the cover, whatever. I mean, the first scanner record is kind of dumb too, and it's dumb in a way that's on first look you're that's kind of dumb. On second look you're yeah, that's dumb, but I can totally fucking hang with that, right? But that's about as far as it goes, you know what I mean? It, you know, if you cover. But this one, it just sort of looks like that level of dumbness until you start seeing how cartoony it is and shit. But dude, maybe it's that fucking hanging out with Marty and shit softened me up. But this thing sounds super German to me, and in the way that I'm just really enjoying this week, man. You know, it's faster than a lot of the shit that's sort of super German in this way. And I think what that is, this is sort of an early form of what's come to be called power metal now, that sort of Halloween shit that I'm not as intimately familiar with, you know. So I mean, I think what it really is I'm realizing that I like power metal, okay. But the form that it's taking this week is in that scanner record, and it's good. This is really good. It's kind of doesn't have that little bit of shit factor to it, but you know, I haven't really liked Angel Dust before, so you know, maybe if just the Jürgencore thing is priming me to like them, then we'll see if I like Into the Dark Past. Yeah. This is probably the shittiest of the lot in its conception, because, I mean, they're called lavatory. But on the other hand, this record is like just straight up on the merits is probably the best record of the lot here that I'm looking at. This is the other shitty one too that I've also been playing a lot. Like I'm into hyping Lavatory because they're called Lavatory, which is so bad. Like they kind of don't deserve a break for that, but they kind of do. Yeah, Sweet Cheater, I don't know, it's kind of mediocre and kind of ordinary, but it just hits the spot, man. Again, like Jürgencore, man. Like to me, this like it's like I actually sent away for more Jürgencore, okay? And I don't remember everything that was in the batch, but like I sent away for record by that band Mad Butcher, and like there's a reissue out right now of that one that he showed in the other stream, Breaker. It's another band called Breaker. There's a German Breaker. That's a cover that's like a dude on a motorcycle driving through a window, sort of like Grim Reaper, the See You in Hell cover, but not as well executed. That's totally Jürgencore, dude. Fucking second-rate German shit, and like I'm just so on board with that right now. So it's funny because like I've been alternating shit like this with the reggae, you know? So here's a public service announcement of a reggae album, okay? If you're at all interested in reggae, you ought to jump on this. It's one record I actually have my old copy of here. I think it's right here. Yeah, because I played this. I thought about hyping this some more, but this one was a really hard one for me to... Actually, I might have included in that list, I shouldn't even say. Fucking Conquering Lion by Yabby You is one of the greatest records ever. I actually bought this based on the cover. I was living in Austin at the time, and I was at Waterloo Records, and this was sitting there for $10, and I was like, there's absolutely no way that this record is not going to get bought by me right now. I think I got a few things at the time. Thought this was great. I'd never heard it before. The third song, Conquering Lion, I recognized from a Big Youth dub. Like he had taken this to like make a dub out of and toast it over. So there's that extra familiarity. The problem with this record, man, is it sounds like shit. It's a really bad Jamaican pressing. It's so, and like it skips in places. Like I have to remember to set my needle heavier so it usually makes it through, but sometimes will skip anyway in the same places. And as far as I know, this is the only reissue that was around for a long time until this one. And, you know, I don't like they did this shit with the cover, right? But this is a really nice reissue, man. And you know I'm not like Mr. Audiophile on this channel. I'm not like, oh, well, let's check out the Music Matters versus the Tone Poet, blah, blah. I mean, fuck all that shit, dude. I'm just not interested in that shit. You know, and I don't begrudge anybody that, you know what I mean? But that's a gadget hobby. That's not music. So, coming from the guy who doesn't give the slightest shit, generally speaking, about this sort of thing, this reissue, the fact that it sounds so good, and you couldn't get it for so long, and even like there's a bonus LP with this. You know, I bitch about that sort of thing all the time, but the bonus record is just the dub version of the original album, dude. That's like buying Marcus Garvey by Burning Spear and Garvey's Ghost, man. They belong together anyway, so... I don't object at all. If I want like the pure like single LP artifact, there's the shitty one for listening to it to this. And if you like reggae at all, you fucking need this so much. Like you don't even realize how much you fucking need that record because it's just so good. Oh yeah, just so it's clear that I don't say that about everything. This one just came in the mail today from a place in Washington called Spin Time Records. I think they've been pretty good to me. They sent me a bonus 45 even, so. I want to say something nice about them real quick. And actually, they've been hooking me up with, I don't know if I should give this all away before I get this shit. No, it's also the place where I got that Clint Eastwood record, the Upsetters one that I showed a couple weeks ago and was geeking out over because there was finally a new reissue of it. So they've been hooking me up with some of the shit that hasn't necessarily been available other places, you know. Anyway, this Zion dub record, kind of an all-star cast. I mean, Robbie Shakespeare, Sly Dunbar, Earl Chinna Smith, Augustus Pablo, and Tommy McCook on horns, the left over from the ska days. Okay, if you see Tommy McCook's name on a record, at least give it a listen. But yeah, it's just a really cool dub record with like this weird sort of like shout, like talking thing that frankly I was way too tired to actually listen to. Starting each tune. It's a little weird actually if you're carrying on a conversation. Especially if you're like tired because you have COVID and your wife does too. So like the whole conversation has about this much energy. We're like right now, you know. A lot of breaths sort of in between and shit, right? And some guy just fucking starts yelling because it's a new song on the Zion dub record. But that's not a complaint. That's just an observation. Let's be clear. It's a great record. But is it essential like Yabby You? No. It's a very good record. But we want to be clear here that, like, there's some hills I'm willing to die on. Let's just leave it at that. Here's another one I got from them, actually. Very cool record. I've sort of been lamenting the fact that I don't have as much Gladiators I like, because I really like them, and the only ones I have are Trenchtown Mix-Up, which is probably always going to be my favorite. But then I have like a comp that has Pocket Money on it and a couple other things, because I think that was just a single. And then like a Studio One record. That actually, I might as well just fucking show that. What the hell? Let's see. You can tell my brain isn't working all that well today, probably in the video. I was going to hype this one too, because I sort of compared someone. I remember in the other video that I made with the top, like, with 6 great reggae records, I compared the Mighty Diamonds unfavorably to someone I was talking about. But, like, after I said that, I was thinking about it. I was like, I really want to hear that Mighty Diamonds record again, man. So, I'm not as big a Mighty Diamonds fan as I am a Gladiators fan, but this is still a great record. Like a 10 out of 10 record, no shit. And I don't know their overall catalog as well. Their second album, Ice on Fire, their second album outside of Jamaica. I don't know how they made there, but that one wasn't as good as this. But yeah, I don't know, man. The Mighty Diamonds are pretty fucking good. But here's the other Gladiators record that I was talking about. Because it's sort of a weird one. It goes in and out of print at a different interval than the other shit. And look at this. Like, there are all these sort of shitty things. Look at how Rearrange is different. Like, the font is different, like they added it in or something like that. And incidentally, that's the same song that got reworked on this record as Have Mercy, which is kind of one of the best songs on this record. It's one of the songs that really made me a Mighty Diamonds fan. But, like, this is, like, more sort of Rasta lyrics, and the other one's more, like, kind of 60s ska lyric to it. But which, I mean, couldn't even tell what the lyrics are about because I wasn't listening very closely, but it wasn't all, like, you know, religious stuff like Have Mercy, you know. Anyway, this one just came. It's a current reissue of a record from '82. And it's really good, man. The songs are really good. First song is called Marcus Garvey Time. That's all I need to know. Actually, that cover is all I need to know. I mean, look at that shit. How can you not want that? You can tell I've been beat because, like, I was too tired to take off the shrink and, like, bag them or just, like, leave them. What else do I have to show? Oh, this record was interesting. So I'm a pretty big fan of Rico Rodriguez. I think I talked about him last time, too. Actually, that record's still sitting here. Yeah, Wareka, or Man from Wareka is the record. Then there's a Wareka dub record, too. So I was curious to check this one out, just as I saw it in the catalog. And when I got this, I was like, oh shit, the label's like, because, you know, I buy shit by label, right? Like, they're doing all this special shit and selector stuff. I'm not as into that, you know? I'm like, uh-oh. But you know something, this is a fucking solid record. Now, it isn't all that reggae. It has like a reggae sort of heart to it, you know what I mean? It's informed by that. But, like, from a beat standpoint, it's pretty straight ahead, and it doesn't really feel very jazzy, but I almost think it plays more in that turf than a reggae turf, you know what I'm saying? Some great people on here, the Deadly Headley Bennett on sax, Cedric Brooks on tenor sax. He has his own records that are pretty much jazz records, like Jamaican jazz records. So, Ansel Collins. That's different by track, but there's Tommy McCook on here too. He's on half the 4 songs. Anyway, it's a really cool record, but I don't recommend this one if you want like a straight reggae record. One of these days I'll try and show it without this fucking thing on here so you can actually see the cover, but I'm not going to deal with it now. Yeah, it's a very cool record and a very interesting record, you know. It almost belongs more like with the Adrian Sherwood productions, like the On You records and that kind of shit, but those still feel more reggae than this record does, you know. But this is probably closer to the reggae than those other records are, you know, at least the roots of it. Since those records are made in England, you know. Oh, this is another Jürgencore record that I pulled out. And I was like, what Jürgencore do I have? This is one that I fucking reached right for, man. Fucking MP. This band is so shitty, and they fucking rule. Like, these guys have, I mean, okay, This is about how good the band is. Right there. If you want to know what MP sounds like, that's your answer. If that appeals to you, then this is pretty much the shit. But if you look at that and go, ew, that's dumb. I don't want dumb shit in my collection. Well then, you know, you can go listen to your Led Zeppelin records and that, whatever. Here's another one actually that I just found in my own stash. It was one that I bought because I didn't want to miss out on it. It's actually still around, but I didn't pull it out until recently. And this is actually the hype sticker on this is like perfect. I don't remember exactly what it says, so I want to get it right. Look, I'm over the 15-minute mark. This is a full video. I'm probably gonna like collapse. No, I'm not gonna collapse. If I were doing that badly, I wouldn't be making this, but my mouth still tastes like shit. All right. It's really good. That tip tasted only like Coke, but I wasn't paying attention at the beginning either, so. All right, yeah, so the hype sticker, I mean, because I keep it, because I'm a geek, it says, all instrumental rhythms meet the ARP 2600 synthesizer on this 1972 rarity. That's exactly what this sounds like. It sounds like some legit reggae. Actually, I'm going to put it on. So there's something for everyone to hate in this video, because I don't know how much overlap there is between reggae fans and metal fans. Although there's more out there than you'd think. Chromie D loves reggae. He's just not as deep into it as I am, but I think the day's coming. You know who else really likes reggae? Is fucking Jürgen. Now I think that Jürgen might have gotten interested in reggae through motivations that are less than pure, if you know what I'm saying. Actually, that sounds like he was interested in a Rasta woman, but that's not exactly what I meant. Anyway, this record, that's basically exactly what it sounds like. It's like, but the vibe of the reggae is really similar to like those early Upsetters records, and that makes this thing a gem to me because those records are really kind of unique. Yeah, producers. You know, it's funny. I don't know these people's names on this one. So that's Joe Sinclair on keyboard. There's a B. Lee that something's attributed to. I wonder if that's Byron Lee. That would kind of trip me out, but it wouldn't really blow my mind if he like were sort of a semi-mogul in Jamaica. It's not really a reggae guy though. If you know Byron Lee, like don't go out and buy. If you're looking for reggae, stay the fuck away from Byron Lee because it's calypso shit. Nothing wrong with it, but. But anyway, all this by way of saying, I really don't know who these people are, which is unusual because one thing about reggae is there just aren't that many people. I mean, Jamaica, there are like 6 million people there, right? It's like, there's some people who went to Britain and made some good shit, and then you get these sort of, you know, aberrations like, you know, Alpha Blondie or someone like that. But for the most part, it's a pretty small scene that's pretty incestuous. There just aren't that many people, you know? I think, in a way, it's easier to become an expert on reggae than other shit just because... First of all, most people know literally nothing. So if you know a little bit, you seem like you know a lot. That's kind of what I'm doing here. But the other thing too, I think it's actually not dissimilar from jazz because with jazz, I find like, first of all, there are fewer individuals, but those individuals' catalogs are a lot deeper, you know? And I really think it's a function of the fact that it's just harder to play. You know, with Jamaica, I think, with reggae, it's a function of the fact that there's so few people in Jamaica, right? Relatively speaking, you know, it's... With jazz, I think it's just that there aren't many people who can play it, you know what I mean? So even with a pool of, I don't know how many people were in the US in the 50s, 150 million, 200 million? Even with a pool that big, you were still only going to get a relatively small group, you know? But those people made a lot of records, you know? But even with jazz, it's more diverse and more widespread than with reggae, you know? And it's funny because on the face of it, reggae seems to me a much easier style of music to get into than jazz. So from that standpoint, it surprises me a little bit that there's a lot more jazz out there than there is reggae, and a lot more demand for jazz out there than there is reggae, you know? Because what's stopping Italians, say, from learning, or, I don't know, Greek people, or Algerians from learning how to play reggae. You know, nothing. Really. You know, you could argue over authenticity and whatever, and I did for a long time. You know what I mean? For a while, I wasn't really interested in reggae if it was from, unless it was from, you know, Jamaica. But like, I was like, Linton Kwesi Johnson's fucking fantastic. Yeah, I'll show one a picture. I think it's still sitting here. I love this record, actually. Speaking of the early shit, there's a reissue of this kicking around too. This is Jamaican press that doesn't sound too bad, so I can hang with this one. Still tell, like, it looks all like ring-worn and it's just a cheap cover, you know. But this is actually a fantastic comp. It's the Scotalites, but it has like some. If you're looking for the early Bob Marley shit, you've got a couple that's credited to the Wailers. I don't think he even mentions Bob Marley on here. No. They're just on equal footing here with Roland Alfonso and Jackie Opal and the Gay Lads. Just another band in the ska roster here. It's a great record though. It's packaged like a corny tourist record, but this record is so legitimately good that becomes part of the charm, you know what I'm saying? Like usually if it says the music of Jamaica, courtesy of some hotel in Montego Bay, they'll be like, yeah. Hey, this is another record I pulled out actually. This is because of Alan over at Let's Talk Metal. But yeah, this Grudge record, he was fucking standing for this record on that last thing. And I was like, dude, that record is crap. I probably ought to pull it out again. So I've actually kind of been vibing with this one a little bit. I still don't think it's anywhere near as good as the Lords of the Crimson Alliance record, which is also on the Grudge label, I'm pretty sure. Whatever that means, right? But yeah, I still can't really recommend this record in good conscience, but I've kind of been enjoying it a lot. Yeah, if you see it for less than $20, yeah, just be ready for it to be kind of crap, you know? It sounds better than those guys look. Because those guys kind of look like they're bandits, so. Alright, is there anything else here? Since I was talking about Ross Michael, I'm just going to show these real quick because these are all so good. This is Love Your Neighbor. This is Kibir Amlak, Glory to God. And then I showed Rastafari last time, but these records are all fucking great. 10 out of 10 records, man. There are other Ross Michael records that are also very good. I actually just got another one in that pack from that place in DC I was hyping. This record right here. This record's really good, but I'm not ready to put it up with those other three yet. I really like this record too, like, don't get me wrong. And actually, I'm glad we saw that. There's one more next to it that I was going to show you. Yeah, this International Slackness one looks weird. Like, when I pulled it out of the box, I didn't remember why I sent away for it, right? I was like, what the fuck? Especially because the Slackness is kind of more associated with the dance hall. I mean, that's kind of more like, you know, it's like the sexual. You know, the shit, that kind of shit that they were doing in the dance hall style reggae in the 80s and forwards, right? But this record is actually, as it says on the back, it is with both pleasure and pride that introduce a major new force. Yeah, that's what it says. It is with both pleasure and pride that introduce a major new force in Jamaican music, capitalized Jamaican music. Sam Carty and the Astronauts. Now, who is Sam Carty? The answer is on Return of the Super 8 by the Upsetters. I know it's hyping the hell out of Bird in Hand because it's the song with the Hindi lyric in it. Well, that's sung by Sam Carty. Now, I don't know who he is, and none of those guys look Indian, but if he can deliver on literally one of my favorite reggae tunes of all time, I'll fucking roll the dice. And sure enough, this record's really good. I haven't completely digested it yet. It's really pretty straightforward though. It's just like it's like a, yeah, it's just like a really soulful, good reggae album, you know. So maybe I'll have more words of wisdom on it if I've listened to it a couple more times. But definitely wasn't a mistake. And if, like me, you prefer the Rasta shit over the Slack shit, don't let that put you off on that record because it isn't really, you know, it's like it's more secular. there's like disorganization and can't change my life, but a fool turned out the light. But then there's a Stand United and Curse Babylon and Africa we want to go. So you're definitely drinking from the same fountain. If you're pulling this out as we pull the other shit out. This is just a little more casual. It's not like the super religious Ross Michael shit, which really is like listening to like Rasta's chanting with like a really great band behind him. Anyway, that's about all I've got, I think. I'll probably find something I forgot afterwards, but yeah, that's all I've got, man. Thanks for watching. If I'm slow with the comments, please cut me some slack this time. It's important to me to reply to all because that's a big part of what makes this fun for me, But I'm not 100%, so if it takes me a few days, I appreciate a little break, a little slackness, a different kind of slackness. Thanks for watching.